The world had barely begun to heal from the wounds of World War I when the seeds of another conflict were sown. The Treaty of Versailles, intended to ensure peace, instead bred resentment and instability. Germany, burdened by crippling reparations and territorial losses, grappled with economic turmoil and political extremism. The Great Depression, a global economic crisis, further fueled these tensions. In this climate of despair, a charismatic but dangerous leader emerged: Adolf Hitler. Hitler, driven by a twisted ideology of Aryan supremacy and territorial expansion, promised to restore Germany to its former glory. He rebuilt the German military, defying the Treaty of Versailles. In 1939, his ambitions culminated in the invasion of Poland. This act of aggression shattered the fragile peace, prompting Britain and France to declare war on Germany, marking the beginning of World War II. The world watched in horror as the Nazi war machine marched across Europe. Hitler's forces, fueled by blitzkrieg tactics, swiftly conquered nation after nation. Fear and uncertainty gripped the hearts of millions as the shadow of tyranny spread across the continent. The world braced itself for a conflict that would test the limits of human endurance and forever alter the course of history. World War II was a battle of ideologies, a clash of titans, with each side led by figures who would leave an indelible mark on history. Winston Churchill, the British Prime Minister, became a beacon of defiance against Nazi aggression. His stirring speeches, infused with unwavering resolve, rallied the British people during their darkest hour. Across the Atlantic, President Franklin D. Roosevelt guided the United States, initially hesitant to join the conflict, into the global struggle against tyranny. On the other side of the battle lines stood Adolf Hitler, the architect of Nazi Germany's reign of terror. Driven by a toxic mix of nationalism, anti-Semitism, and a lust for power, Hitler's actions plunged the world into chaos. His regime, built on fear and propaganda, systematically murdered millions in the Holocaust, an unspeakable crime against humanity. In the East, Joseph Stalin, the ruthless dictator of the Soviet Union, emerged as a pivotal figure. The Second World War was a global conflict, its battlefields spanning continents and oceans. The invasion of Poland in September 1939 marked the war's outbreak, but it was the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, that brought the United States into the conflict. This date, which will live in infamy, as Roosevelt declared, transformed the war's trajectory. On June 6, 1944, Allied forces stormed the beaches of Normandy, France, in a daring operation codenamed D-Day. This pivotal battle marked the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany, as Allied troops fought their way through occupied Europe. The war in the Pacific raged on, marked by fierce battles on islands like Iwo Jima and Okinawa. Section 4. The Unfathomable Cost of War. The Second World War left an indelible scar on humanity. Its cost measured not only in territorial shifts or political realignments, but in the immeasurable suffering it inflicted. Millions perished on battlefields across the globe, soldiers cut down in their prime, their dreams and aspirations extinguished. But it was among civilians that the war exacted its most horrific toll. The Holocaust, the systematic genocide of 6 million Jews by the Nazi regime, stands as a chilling testament to the depths of human depravity. In the Pacific Theater, Japanese forces committed atrocities against civilians, leaving a legacy of pain and resentment. The war's end, while a cause for celebration, did not erase the scars it left behind. Section 5. Shaping a New World Order. The aftermath of World War II brought profound changes to the global landscape. The war shattered the old world order, leaving a power vacuum that was quickly filled by the United States and the Soviet Union. These two superpowers, once united against a common enemy, now found themselves locked in an ideological struggle that would come to be known as the Cold War. In 1945, representatives from 50 nations gathered in San Francisco to establish the United Nations, an organization dedicated to preventing future conflicts and promoting international cooperation. The horrors of World War II had shown the urgent need for a forum where nations could resolve disputes peacefully and work together to address global challenges.